10 years ago, 15 years ago, when it was not normal to have access to betas and betas were closed, you wish you had the opportunity to pay to have access to the beta. But no, it was invite only, and they only invited the people that they wanted, or by luck, or whatever, and there was no possibility of getting in. I have a video here from Quin. You guys know that I love Quin, and it is called GGG, this is not it. So of course I want to watch a video from Quin that is called GGG, this is not it, right? So let's see what it is not it. Right, let's see what he says.
I got a Havoc video, bro. There's a Havoc video of his concerns. Let's check out what's Havoc's concerns.
Oh, he's watching another video in here. So this is going to be a react section because I am going to react to this shit, dude. So let's see what happens.
Let's see what Havoc's concerned about, guys. Let's get a little check here. Get a little check.
Hey guys, this is going to be a bit of a different video from me. Just like many of you, I have some concerns with Path of Exile 2. I don't believe it's the end of the world, but some changes in my opinion are warranted. So
I think this is before the changes they announced and all the fixes they already put in this version of the game that I am playing. They did a lot of stuff, a lot of changes. So let's see if feedback he gave in here made it to the fixes, right?
So starting with the first concern, zones are just way too big. Just unlocking our characters.
Okay, first thing said, they addressed a lot of the zones. Not all of the zones, but a lot of them were addressed and made smaller in this patch, dude. So in hindsight, he was kind of right because they fixed it, right?
By pulling levers in the Matland waterways is not fun. The Azek bog is amazing, but it really should be a lot smaller. And I don't believe adding checkpoints is the solution.
Of course not.
Look at this.
There it is.
Is this like really what we want? I don't think anyone wants this.
Nobody.
Jesus
yeah, it looks stupid. That wouldn't solve the problem,
fuck.
of course.
Yo, Havoc, bro. Holy fuck.
We can slice and dice and define the problem in many ways, and one way to do it is to say, super large zones feel tedious to clear. For myself, when I reach Act 3, 10 times out of 10, I just feel bored. There's no challenge. Which leads me to my next piece of feedback. If I could change one thing, it would be the player speed, movement speed, skill speed, and, well, everything.
Well, they didn't address our speed, but they addressed the monster's speed, which is kind of the same shit because you are also reducing the bigness of the sun, right? The size of the sun. It is basically the same shit. I still think we should be a little bit faster, but I have a problem with it when people ask for the player being faster. I have a problem with this. I do agree that we probably could be a little bit faster, but the problem I have with this is that 90% of the time, or let's say from 70% to 90% of the time, this request of being faster is made by a Path of Exile 1 player that has the speed of Path of Exile 1 on the back of their mind. Even if they are not thinking about Path of Exile 1, even if they are not asking for PoE2 to have the same speed as PoE1, they have that feel of the game in the back of their heads. So when they ask for more speed, their subconscious is projecting that fucking speed, and I don't want that fucking speed in this game. I do agree that we are slow as fuck, at least in movement speed, and that probably boots should have the movement speed implicit and not have to roll for movement speed. And there should be no penalty for movement speed when you equip a body armor. There should be no penalty. So all of those help with movement speed. But don't give me this crap of everything needs to be faster. No, fuck that. There are people that are even asking to have fucking Flame Dash or Frost Blink from PoE1. Fuck that shit. Don't give me that. And if you give it to me, that it is something like Blink. We have Blink right now. That it is something like Blink that has a cooldown, or you have a requirement to be able to use it. It is not like in PoE1 that everybody is dashing all over the place. Fuck that! Okay. They fix a lot of this tedium very quick, not gonna lie. I'm leveling right now and they change the layout, the light stone, and the monster speed. Fucking awesome, dude. Brother, Ace, my dude, facts. I don't want to have the speed boost because people will find ways to stack at speed and make it like PA1. Exactly. I do agree that we are slow as fuck, dude. Like, yes, the boots, they remove the... Why do body armor has a penalty? Who asked for this? How is this fun? Why does body armor has a movement penalty? And it is hidden, by the way. You don't come to body armor and see it here. They don't show it to you. But you go to the database and they have said this in interview. Yes, body armor has a fucking... When you equip a heavy armor chest, it has a minus 5% movement speed. Who the fuck asked for that, dude? That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. So no, remove that chain. Remove that chain. And everything will be fine. Put implicit in the boots. Remove the armor drawback, and maybe give a 5% to 10% movement speed bonus baseline to the characters, and it will feel awesome. It will feel awesome.
I don't believe combat needs to be slow to be meaningful or engaging. In its current state, it feels tedious and ultimately boring. So no surprise here, my first character was a Huntress, first playthrough. Not the most compelling or engaging experience. When I play games and I'm struggling, when I'm facing a challenge, my automatic response is some form of just get good. And this was somewhat true, as after I played multiple characters, improved my build, and with the multiple mob HP nerfs, it did start to feel better. But you know what else?
Armor is the same as Souls. I thought that's what you like. I have never played a Souls like in my life. Well, if you consider No Rest for the Wicked as Souls-like, well, I played that one a little bit. But I have never played a Souls-like in my life. In fact, I want to do a series playing all of the Souls-like, dude. Right? Going from Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, all that shit. I have never played them. So, hey, it is not that. It is not that. Fuck that. Look at that, man. No, he likes wells. Fuck the well too. By the way, they haven't fixed the well, dude. I will have to do more bullshit around the well because they have fixed a lot of shit and they have not fixed the well. How hard can it be to fix the fucking well? We have to do something about the well in here, guys.
Thing is, if players have roided out skill speed and cast speed, right, and movement speed, that means the monsters have to have roided out skill speed. I feel like people want to...
They want, because they are Path of Exile 1 players, they want PoE2 to be faster because they are used to the fastness. Again, I am not criticizing this, brother. PoE1 is your favorite game. You like the speed, zoom, kill, okay. It is logical that you prefer that play style and you wanted to see here. I am not saying it is bad, but it is because of this reason that you are asking for more speed. So what happens to the people that don't like zoom, kill? I think that we can compromise. As I am saying, it is true that we are too slow. Make us a little bit faster. PoE1 is still too fucking fast. You give me even a 100% speed boost, and I don't think we will be as fast as PoE1. So give me a little boost, and everybody will be happy, dude. Everybody will be happy. Demon's Souls is the first one, mate. I can't play that one because I don't have a PlayStation 5. Fuck that. And I am not going to play. Is there another one that is another version that is for PC?
To be able to traverse when they want to move, they want to be able to have a way of moving faster. I don't think they want everything to be faster. I think it's like, oh my god, I missed this guy back there, or like, oh, I went the wrong way. I need to go down this direction, and I've just got to run from here to here. And you're just watching you guy walk, and you're like, fuck, bro, this sucks. And I feel like that gap would get filled up by having like a fucking just a ability that lets you traverse, right?
Don't give me Frostblink bullshit, Quin.
Like Flame Dash or Leap Slam or one
no,
of these
fuck
abilities
that.
that lets you just
Leap Slam is already in the game.
Yeah, A mount. It's funny because a mount, like a non-combat mount.
No, don't give me mounts. I am already pissed off because they gave the Roa. I am already pissed off because of the Roa. Don't give me another fucking mount. In Diablo 4, it makes sense because it is open world and zones are also big or whatever, and there is no loading screen between zones. It doesn't make sense in here that you are in your hideout opening a fucking map. No, don't give me fucking mounts. Fuck that. I think people are so married to the idea of min-maxing their character and optimizing their map runs, I doubt they would even consider maybe going slower and enjoying combat. You are correct on that, Russell. You are correct on that. I believe that it is also in GG's best interest to preserve PoE 2 not becoming PoE 1. That it probably will, but I hope it happens in 5 or 10 years, not for release, right? It will probably happen just from power creep. But it is on GG's best interest to not let PoE 2 become PoE 1 at least for 5 years in the future, because they had PoE 1 and it had a cap on the amount of players because people didn't want to get into PoE 1. They wanted to play PoE 1, but it had a barrier of entry. A lot of people didn't like the Zoom Zoom. A lot of people didn't like the bloat of all the systems, one up over the other. And PoE 2 opened the doors, opened the windows, new players could come in, and I am included in this group. And now we are enjoying the game. And now I want to even go and play when 326 launches for PoE 1, I'll be there. Because I was eased into the ecosystem because of PoE 2. If you let PoE 2 become PoE 1, you will again create this problem. New players won't want to get into the game. The speed is going to be stupid. People won't like it. You risk even losing the new players that you got because of these changes. So I understand that you also don't want to lose the original player base you have. So you have to come to a compromise between the two player bases, the new and the old, because we are seeing that the two worlds are clashing. My opinion, it is like that.
I think it's dog shit. I don't think it's a dog shit idea, but yes, it would do a similar sort of thing. But I don't think that's the play at all. A non-combat mount, unironically,
fuck that.
I think it's dog shit. I don't think it's a dog shit idea, but yes, it would do a similar sort of thing. But I don't think that's the play at all. I think it's far better if you just give players like some sort of traversal ability to just move. So then whenever you need to go, oh fuck, I need to go there, and you need, instead of just watching your guy run for like 20 seconds, you can go. You have like a button to press to like, okay, I need to move from here to here fast. Let me press this button. And your guy just does 10 seconds, and then you got to walk for a few seconds. Whatever, bro. You know, movements. I don't like the spam at all.
I don't mind if they allow you to go ham with movement out of combat. By the way, if you are out of combat and they give you an ability that when you are a passive ability, let's say that when you are out of combat, you run 100% faster. I am fine with that. Because that doesn't affect the real gameplay and it helps you traverse areas if you want to, right? But I don't want to zoom when in combat, basically. But I also don't want to be slow. Hit the spot, hit the sweet spot, right? So a checkpoint, not necessarily, because if you have not discovered the checkpoint, you can't travel to a checkpoint you have not discovered, right? Or if there is not a checkpoint to the area you wanna go. Yo, Carlos, papi, my dude, how you doing, brother? Responding to Quin. Okay.
Absolutely, it would have to have cooldowns and limits. 100%.
Okay, Quin is on point in here. He's saying, well, give me a movement speed, but it has to have cooldown and limits. Okay, base. I know that Quin is also a gamer, dude. He also he knows that he doesn't want the bullshit, easy stuff. He wants also a good fucking game. So he gives good feedback in this aspect. So he's saying, yes, give me the speed, but hey, with a cooldown, with some restriction of some sort. Okay, based.
Cooldowns and limits. Or Quicksilver Plus, a way to...
No, fuck Quicksilver.
A way to temporarily boost movement speed.
Exactly. If you want to give a way... When I say fuck Quicksilver, I am not saying fuck the effect that Quicksilver gives. I am saying don't give me a flash that I have to press every 2 seconds to be fast, because it is dog shit having to press, right? If you want to give me the effect of the Quicksilver as a passive skill, as something that gives to you passively every 10 seconds, as a charm, as another shit, okay, I can take that. Still, but it's slower than Quicksilver. Not as zoomy as Quicksilver, but something like Quicksilver. I can take that. I just don't want to be pressing the flask every 2-4 seconds, because that is dog shit.
So whether that be a movement skill or like a a thing that just you press, your character can like get a support champion. It's called sprint, and you press it, and your character like just goes fucking
okay.
He goes like twice as fast.
I am fine with the sprint ability too, but it has to have or a long cooldown or a limit, or it can or the cooldown is low, or it can only be used out of combat. I am fine with all of those. In fact, give me a sprint for out of combat, dude, without cooldown, and that is it. But on combat you can't use it. And fuck that. What about instead of checkpoints, you give me a teleport ability and I can teleport anywhere on the map that I discover when out of combat? This sounds good to me. That sounds good, but it is also too convenient. There is no way in hell they give you that. No way in hell they give you that. All these patches are still nothing about optimizations. They did fix a little bit of crashes, but don't think they fix optimization per se, dude. Which sucks for you. Have you tried playing again? How is it going? It's still fucked up. Solution seems like a speed outside of combat is a solution. Yeah. A speed outside of combat will be, in my opinion, one of the best things. You can also increase baseline, as we talked about earlier, the speed of the character by like 10% as your base movement speed, and everything will be alright too. And then outside from that, out of combat, you give me another speed boost, right? Or remove the restrictions on body armors, or make boots have the speed implicit. There are a lot of solutions for this shit that doesn't break the elemental, the foundational flow of the game, right? Or the vision they are going for. It is still within that realm. It doesn't destroy anything, but makes it better for the player, right? I wanna play this league, dude, hermano. Brother, I am playing it and it is fucking awesome, dude. It still doesn't want... Have you tried again after the patches? Or it's still fucked up? Could be locked behind a caster, not bad idea, actually. Exactly, dude. I agree, whatever the solution is, it must be out of combat. Yeah, movement speed out of combat is very good. Just like in other games where you're not convenienced all the time. Yeah, exactly.
For 10 seconds. Like, that would also work. A sprint. Sprint would be fine. I'd be fine with sprint. I just feel like that. I feel like making everything faster is genuinely not a good thing. And there is...
Fucking base! I am glad that Quin is saying this, by the way, because Quin plays a lot of PoE1, right? He's basically the biggest PoE streamer. I know that some people don't consider him the PoE streamer because he also streams other games and variety or whatever. No, but and he's not the, in quotes, best PoE player. No, but fuck that. Quin is a PoE streamer and he's the biggest one, dude. And he's even a top streamer, period. So it is really fucking good that Quin is saying this shit. Fucking base, dude. Fucking base.
Respect that. I mean, dude, some of these boss fights, man, like Arbiter, it feels like fast, bro. I feel like it feels fast. It's already like, pew, pew, pew. I mean, you're reacting, bro. Some of these mechanics, the reaction time to that thing, making it. If you make the players faster, well, then they need to make the boss abilities faster, and then everything's faster. And like,
exactly.
bro, my brain. I don't think I'm gonna keep up with
Based
that.
as fuck.
I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck that.
What the fuck?
And the slowness, to be honest, a lot of people are complaining about the slowness in the campaign, right, guys? We have to also compromise in here and be honest. People are complaining about the slowness in the campaign. In the end game, we get the 35% movement speed boots and other shit that gives us movement speed, and people don't complain as much because they are already powerful. They are complaining about being slow and weak at the same time, right? Let's be honest in here, guys. Let's not also twist it. When I say caster, I mean a high requirement on the gem so they can teleport to a safe location they want. The one that you can't just teleport around the map because it is too convenient. Oh yeah, like a mage in WoW that has a teleport, right? You open a portal and you go to whatever the fuck you want. Not or combine it with a warlock. I don't know, but I am just throwing ideas so that you are correct with that. But the problem is when the mob swarm you, you lose all the speed immediately. But they are kind of fixing the swarminess. They address swarminess in this patch. Maybe it is not completely fixed, but they are working on that, right? So it is already on the radar. By the way, guys, I have been saying that we needed to fix the swarminess, right? They are also, this patch did a lot of things that I've been asking for a long time. So just so you know. More skills like Blink would be cool, like a quick large dash or flick for Dex characters. Personally, I want a blood dash like Count Geonon. You know what? I agree with this because Blink is already in the game and nobody's complaining about Blink. Why? Because it requires a fuck ton of spirit, 100 spirit, and I believe it is an intelligence skill. I am not sure, but I believe it requires you to have intelligence. And it has a cooldown. So what we can do is other types of blinks for characters that are not intelligence. But I don't know if it requires intelligence. Maybe it doesn't. And well, you already have blink, right? But blink is fine because it requires 100 spirit and also it has a cooldown. Maybe you can do it with, you can create something similar to blink with different restrictions. More spirit, less cooldown, less spirit, more cooldown, and stuff like that, right? So you create something similar but with another flavor and a little bit of tweaks. Or give us a sprint, but it raises the player's stun meter like a stamina. Hey, that can also happen like in Diablo 2, but only for out of combat shit. Yeah, man, warriors can have a sprint, druids can turn into fast animals, caster can teleport, etc. That is also a good idea. Ranger and hunters have the roll already. Yep. Warrior, I just leap slam. Yes, warriors have the leap slam, but it is not as bullshit as in PoE1. In PoE1, you go ping. In here, because they gave you the animation that you have to go through every single time. When you leap slam, you have to run, leap, and land, and you don't just fucking spam it like a brain dead idiot. It has basically a whole duration that you have to do. So that is why it is not so bulging. Yo, Young Waffle, my dude, how you doing, brother?
I think the main thing that makes you feel bored is when you realize, oh my God, I need to walk over there. That's so far away. And then you just have to watch your guy run. And it's just like a shit feeling. Because you want to have a button to press to do something. Yeah. Move speed. I think a cooldown, some form of gated, restricted movement. Whether that be a fucking, I mean, I don't like little blast. Whether that be like a sprint ability, whether that be like a movement ability with cooldowns, whether that be, I mean, I don't want to say mount, but like, no, I don't.
Brother, just when you are in a map and you are out of combat, like I am in here, just give up a speed boost. Fucking, that is it. Done. Nobody's going to say shit anymore.
I really don't want mounts, so I'm not going to suggest
fuck
mounts.
Mounts.
Like, fuck mounts.
Also made it feel better.
Yeah, exactly what I said.
And I don't know, man. Parry is just not it. It feels bad to use.
Based! Parry sucks! Nobody wants to parry. And don't tell me, dude, I parry. Nah, fuck that. Yeah. We have this conversation every time that I say that parry sucks. Fuck parry. That shit doesn't have a place in here. Nobody wants to parry. Nobody wants to active block. Fuck that shit. And at least active block was less bullshit. Parry is more bullshit. Fuck that shit.
And it removes the action from action RPG. I try to avoid saying things like it feels bad or it's not good. I try to discuss things with objective reasoning. But sometimes I think you just gotta trust the vibes, and this time the vibe wasn't it.
Base, I also say, I told you this exact same thing with other words one of these days. I don't remember when. When we were talking about masteries, I told you I don't have a reason why I don't like masteries. It is just a vibe. I don't like masteries. What can I tell you? Right? So he's telling here the same shit for parry. And I agree. I can't give you reasons why parry sucks dick, but it also just doesn't feel good. Fuck parry. All my homies hate parry.
To quickly re-emphasize the player skill speed and movement speed issue, on the passive tree there's a keystone called Dance with Death. 25% more skill speed if using a spear and do not have an offhand equipped. That keystone in combination with some movement speed nodes made my character feel playable, or in other words, remove the temp chain's curse. I strongly believe that raising the default base movement speed by 40% and the base player's skill speed by 25% would do a lot of positive things for the game.
That is too much. I do agree. I told you guys earlier, I do agree with a little bit of base buff to movement and speed, but that is too fucking much, dude. Those numbers are insane.
Oh, wait, but do you not think then they have to make, but then you have to make all the monsters move faster and all the monsters attack faster?
Exactly,
so
no.
Like 40%, I don't know, man. 40% is ridiculous.
Exactly. Quin agrees with me. Quin agrees with me.
I think the player can move faster. I agree that I think the player can move faster.
But not attack speed. Attack speed is fine.
He's saying 40% of base, by the way, Chet. I don't think he's saying...
Well, not for the warrior. Not for fucking Thunder. But hey, normal attack speed for normal characters is fine.
40% more.
Skill speed by 25. I believe that raising the default base movement speed by 40% and the...
Raising the default
40%, dude, that is too much.
40%.
Then when you have the 35% boots, you are assuming.
Right, he's not saying... Yeah. 140% of current value. Yeah, what are the current value is? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, no, 40%. Nah. Bro.
What are you thinking, Queen, my dude? What the fuck? 40% is too much. There is nothing to think in here.
Sprint, bro. Like,
the sprint out of combat is fine.
Yo, imagine if the game had sprint. Like sprint. So 40% more, but it's got a bar. It's got a bar, and you got to press. It wouldn't work with click to move, would it? No, what I'm thinking is like, because that's, think about it. That solves think about it. Sprint solves the exact problem I'm talking about. It's gated. It's when you need to move between, you need to traverse, right? You don't need
exactly, base. That is what I'm telling you. That is what I'm saying, dude.
Like, yeah. And then you press shift and your guy just gets like 50% faster. Like, and it would work. I mean, it genuinely, hey, but no, I don't think it would work with click to move. And I feel like it's another keybind that people have to use. And on top of that, it's another resource that people have to track. Yeah, so it's probably not it, but like, you know, I think genuinely an ability that you can press that makes you go too faster temporarily for a period of time, or a travel skill. Yeah, a Quicksilver Flask. I mean, a Quicksilver Flask is kind of like sprint. Yes, you are right. Yeah, so a Quicksilver. Yeah, except I fucking don't like fucking flasks. I don't like utility
exactly
flasks.
What I said earlier, brother. Queen is based like me, dude. I am saying that I am based too.
I don't like them.
Sorry.
I don't want Quicksilver. Okay, I don't like this whole flask thing where you gotta kill mobs to get charges and fucking you've got a flask. I just don't like flasks. If you had a combat plus 30% movement speed.
Fucking base, dude. Then you get 35 speed boots, and that's too much. Exactly, that is what I think, dude. That is fucking insane, dude.
Wow, that sounds like a, yeah, I don't know, maybe, but yeah. I mean, that could work. Something like that as well. But then I don't know about that. I definitely think 40% base is kind of crazy. I think if you had gated, if you had hit 40%, but it was a cooldown, that's fine. I think a cooldown based, yes, like a Quicksilver, except it's this ability, maybe a baseline ability that every character gets. Maybe it's called sprint.
Exactly. That is fine. And out of combat, please.
You know, you get 1% move speed out of combat.
The base player's skill speed by 25% would do a lot of positive things for the game. I don't believe it's all doom and gloom. The impression I left with from last patch on early access launch was there is a solid foundation here. PB2 has a chance to become an amazing game if they continue to listen and address player feedback.
They are doing it.
Which leads me to the whole early access playtest thing. I see a lot of hand waving and dismissal of feedback with the line, but it's early access. And there is some truth to that. But then I look at how the game is marketed and how we didn't get updates for months in 0.1 and how each update is sold as a release game. And maybe I'm off base in interpreting it that way, but I feel like they're sending conflicting messages. And
this is partially true. This is partially true.
To a variety of players in Discord calls in private, and the common thread between all of them is this frustration that they're being forced to QA test an unfinished game. Obviously, no one is.
You're not being forced, little bro. You're not being forced, little bro. Okay, you're paying money. You're giving them money to do it. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's not get it twisted. Okay.
A lot of times I remember when I was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when it was not normal to have access to betas and betas were closed, you wish you had the opportunity to pay to have access to the beta. But no, it was invite only, and they only invited the people that they wanted, or by luck, or whatever, and there was no possibility of getting in. And we wish we could, yes, test the game in a better environment just to be able to try the game. But now what? Now you are complaining about having, I don't know if it is a privilege, but the opportunity to do it when before we used to dream with this shit. No, because I gave them $30. We used to be able, we used to dream that this could be a thing. That we could pay for the access to the beta. And this wasn't a possibility, I don't know, 10, 15 years before. So yes, I think that the argument that I don't like when people say, oh, they are using us like testers instead of paying people to do it, we are the bullshit or whatever. Brother, I am happy that I have access to the game and this shit is not in close beta right now, or that I can, and I don't have to wait 2 fucking years more to actually play it, but that it is playable right now. I am happy that I can do it. So yes, fuck that shit. We used to dream about moments like this when we were younger gamers. What the fuck?
You're getting the money, okay, and you're liking it. Shut the fuck up. You're enjoying it.
Exactly. I agree completely with Quin.
The
And here
conversation
again,
after that usually leads to some sort of statement like this, that you don't have to playtest the game if you don't want to. But then, why do many of us continue to play Path of Exile 2 in its current state? Is it because of what we believe it would become, or is it something else?
because it's a good
It's a
game.
solid game, and you have passion, and so you want to get feedback. So it's worth going in and testing.
We, and I am going to include myself because I also have a lot of feedback or criticism or things that I think that suck in the game and need improvement. We can whine and complain about the game, everything that we want. Fundamentally, it is a good fucking game. Khan is such a beast, dude. Bro almost be there with the day one. Yeah, but that dude is fucking insane. And he's playing SSF, by the way. That motherfucker is insane, dude. Okay, thank you, my brother. Of course, anything that you like to know, ask me, dude. If I know the answer, I will help. If I don't know it, I will tell you.
So you can be like, oh yeah, I like this direction. Oh, I don't like this, and then they can yeah. No, the reality is, okay, you're projecting into the future. You're thinking, I love Path of Exile 1. I'm excited for Path of Exile 2. I'm gonna try the new Path of Exile 2 updates, even though I understand it's early access and it's gonna be jank. And then
exactly, that should be the mentality.
They can then use that data and those opinions and that feedback to then tweak the game and make the game that I want to play. Right? That's what it is, right? It's there. It's for posterity, okay, purposes. 100%. You are doing it because you are investing, and on top of that, the game is pretty decent, right?
It's good. It's good.
The game is decent.
It's a good fucking game.
So you're playing the game, you're having a decent amount of fun. I would assume you're having a decent amount of fun, and you're giving feedback. So it's like it's a win-win all around. You're just like,
yes,
and yes, you are a paid beta tester. You're a paid beta tester, but that's what you accept whenever you see a game that says early access. Warning,
exactly,
this game is in early access and is being actively developed.
You signed up to it. Now you are going to complain about it. Fuck that.
It's you read the disclaimer, it pops up, you say yes, you put in your credit card, you buy the fucking thing. I mean, shit, bro. And then all around, I think it's a...
Quin doesn't have good takes. Brother, I remember when I did that video saying that Quin, making fun of Quin's takes. But brother, in this video particularly, he's having a lot of good fucking takes. And I am agreeing with him, dude.
Good process, and I think honestly for a game that's live access, I think early access actually does make sense because you're developing it hand in hand with the community, which works. Now, if it was a story game, of course, I think fuck that. You're just gonna pull half the story, and it's not gonna work out that well. You just better off fucking just raw dogging it. But this is a live access game that you're supposed to play for many, many hours. So I feel like
Exactly.
it makes total sense to do early access, and it makes sense to beta test, especially if you're a passionate Path of Exile player.
That's something else I believe is the
I
fact
wasn't,
that
but I
GG
am now.
has generated a lot of goodwill over the last decade with Path of Exile 1. And to be frank, that goodwill is not an infinite resource. There's only so much of it. And if you're only a PoE1 enjoyer, I can definitely understand and empathize with how things are currently going. Along with the people at GG, I know there's good
Things are
people at
going
GG,
good right now.
and I know that
Since after this video was released, they did the patch that addressed a lot of this shit. So there is a lot of goodwill again, right? So yes, they are addressing a lot of bullshit, dude. They are doing a good job. We have to let them cook, dude. But it is also good to know that we have to push, right? To press them. Like these changes wouldn't have happened as fast as they did if the community didn't press on them. It is also good to know that as a community we have the power to press them and hey, they are going to change shit. That is also cool. But sometimes we press for a stupid shit and then they change it and it is dog shit. This time it is not the case though, so fucking good for that. Yeah, I'm agreeing with what he's saying as well. Man, he yaps just like you though. Yes, he's a yapper. I think that is why I like Quin and I like Asmongold, because I am a yapper and they are yappers, so I like that style.
scaling business is hard and managing various development pipelines is challenging.
I agree with them in the respect that the like community perception, like you build up a certain amount of goodwill, and if you're in the good boy books, you can kind of get away with making mistakes. And if you're like in the if you don't have good boy points, you can't get away with shit. Now, I feel like it's whoa.
What the fuck?
All that really matters is in the reality though. All that matters is action and what they're doing, and is the game good? And what, you know,
the game is good, and they did action after this. They did make the patch, and the game is better now. Is it perfect? No, but they are improving it, and they are demonstrating that they are listening and trying to take the correct steps in the right direction. So I am fucking happy right now.
There is like that. I don't know what you want to call it. There's like, I feel like there's reality. Is what I'm trying to say is there's optics and there's reality. Like an entire portion of a community can be pissed off and triggered, and the reality is the game can be fucking decent, and it doesn't matter that these guys are, they can run out of their fucking
exactly. This is also true.
Like people like me can be like D4 is dog shit. Get a tattoo saying D4 bad. Everyone can agree D4 is bad, but then actually it's still commercially a successful game that lots of people are playing because fucking it's got cinematics and good marketing. And, you know, some guy likes to sit on his couch and press the X button every now and then. That's the reality, right? And I don't think they're like connected at the hip. I'm yapping a bit. Does it make sense? You understand what I'm saying here?
Yes, it makes sense, dude. I agree.
Solutions overnight. I don't think anyone realistically is, and it's probably going to be a while before PoE 2 is a game that we're, you know, falling in love with, like a game that we're just like dying to come home and play.
I am already in love with this shit. I am addicted.
Things that define the genre,
I always want to play.
Creativity and player expression is one of them. Another change, a simple change that I believe would help amplify these aspects in PoE 2 would be to sell uncut skill gems and uncut support gems at the vendor for a reasonable amount of gold. The uncut support gems in particular should not be so rare, especially if the game is supposed to be accessible and creativity is to be encouraged. And like you should just have the ability to just like mess up, but then solve the problem afterwards. Anyways, I don't really plan on posting more videos like this on this channel.
Wait, does that? I don't know. Maybe you get. I don't know. Definitely adds an insane level of determinism.
I understand why PoE1 people are upset. However, we supported the game because we were initially sold on the idea that PoE2 was basically a graphically updated with new content. Yes, when the game was supposed to be PoE2 was supposed to be integrated with PoE1, it was like that. Then they decided to take it out, and then they started to show different stuff, and people were still hyped up. But as I said earlier, I think that the biggest pushback from PoE1 players comes from the fact that they lost 2 leagues, 3 leagues, 4 leagues because they are focused on PoE 2 and not on PoE 1. And they are mad because I am basically forced to play the version of the game that I don't like instead of the one that I like. If you give me a league, I go back to PoE 1 and I stop complaining. There are still going to be some complainers, but less of them because the people that want that style of game will be playing PoE 1, right? I think that a lot of the pushback comes from there. That they said that they were going to keep developing PoE 1 and it isn't happening. I am still hopeful that we will get in the flow, that we will get PoE 2, PoE 1, PoE 2, PoE 1, and we will be able to come back and forth. I am on that copium train. I forgot he actually got that D4 back tattoo, bro. Yes, he had the D4 back tattoo forever, dude. And there will come a day where D4 is no longer exists, and he still has the D4 back tattoo, brother. Which is why people are mad, because PoE 1, because I supported the game monetarily, and also I play in it and get it. Yes, I also get it. Like, they say, oh, PoE 2 wouldn't exist if we wouldn't have bought the supporter packs in PoE 1. And that is actually true. That is actually true. By the way, when you say addicted, I'll be finishing the campaign in close to 40 fucking hours, and I can't fucking wait to blast the new angle. Let's drop a mirror this league. Dude! If you drop a mirror, that would be fucking insane. You have to upload a video or a screenshot or some shit, dude. But yes, I always want to play this shit, brother. I always want to play. It is fucking insane, dude.
Which, obviously, if you're a speedrunner, that's what you want. It would reduce the feeling of excitement that you get when you get those early support gems. But then it would, at the same time, so you reduce the POG levels of getting a support gem, but at the same time, you reduce the cancel level of not getting a support gem. Does it cancel out? I get excited when I get a support gem. What do you mean?
The very first time when you are starting the league and you are starting and you don't have support gems and it is a new league, first character, I do get excited when I get a support gem. But now after you have a fuck ton of them on your stash and you create a second character and you can just take them out, now you don't give a fuck about support gems. That is the truth, guys. Let's be honest in here. But the very first playthrough, the very first time, hey, support gems are awesome, dude.
Your first character, when you've got 2 sockets and you got nothing in it and you got like 3 abilities, what are you talking about? Whenever I see a support gem, I'm like, oh shit. I instantly am excited to click on it and be like, 20% more damage, bro.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Agreed.
Chat, getting support gems is POG.
It is.
I get excited when I see a support gem drop. All right, especially when I go from tier 1 to tier 2, and then I get even more excited when I see the tier 3 support gems. And then once you've been in match for a bit, it starts to be like, oh, yeah, I got like fucking 20 of them in the bank, so it gives a fuck.
Exactly, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, they play, so I don't know what to tell you. Like science for a living. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You're trading it. It's a trade-off, right? You're basically reducing RNG, you're increasing determinism, but then that means you reduce the excitement, but then you increase like you reduce the lowest point of getting whatever.
But support gems kind of suck right now, and I am going to make a video talking about this, about the design for support gems, dude, because it is overlapping with something that we criticized in Diablo 4, and support gems in PoE 2 are doing it. So I am going to make a video just going over why some support gems, not all of them, have the design just toxic.
You want to call that dissatisfaction? Like you're basically trading in the extreme ends of dissatisfaction for the high ends of the satisfaction, and you just basically bring it together.
Oh, maybe I will. We'll see.
It's like you could start making all uniques, buy them from vendors, right? Because well, you can't consistently get it, so just like you just buy it for a reasonable amount of gold, and then you just make all loot just be. You can just grind it out eventually. You can just make it so loot doesn't drop anymore. You just buy like
this is a good argument by Quin
from a vendor, but you have to do like 70 maps versus it just drops randomly with randomly generated shit, and then every time you ID it, it's exciting, and then you can get randomly exciting. It's like, oh, if I do 70 maps, I'm going to get this item versus I could get an item in this next map, or I could not. So I think it doesn't really matter. It's just a trade-off, eh?
I've honestly been really looking forward to playing PoE 1 again. I'm looking forward to 326. Every time I log into PoE 1 after playing PoE 2, I just think, damn, it's kind of fun. Playing like a level 1 Marauder or something. not some tricked out endgame character.
Bro is obviously a PoE1 Andy. There is nothing wrong with that. He just prefers that game, and that is obviously a lot of the feedback comes from there. By the way, he did give some good feedback in there. Like, I do agree that we need to be a little bit faster in movement speed. 40% is just too much. And he said the sums are too big. Everybody was complaining about that, and they made them smaller. So that is also a good amount of feedback in there, right? So, but there is a lot of stuff that it is making it too much like PoE1. PoE1 and lol, yeah.
In the short term, I do plan on playing some other classes, mostly just in the campaign. Right now, I'm not interested in Path of Exile 2's endgame whatsoever. Maybe that will change in the future. More videos soon, and I hope this message goes to the right place, and I hope changes occur. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day, Exiles. Bye.
Pretty succinct feedback there. You know, he's passionate, and he says what he thinks. I appreciate it. Don't necessarily agree with everything he's suggesting. I definitely think speeding up the whole game's bad.
I agree with this by Quin.
That it feels bad to want to be at B and you're at A, and you can see all that is between you and where you want to go is just holding the W key, but you just have to watch your character walk there slowly. And that's like, it feels boring and shit. There should be something you can do. Whether that is like a gap, like a movement skill, a Quicksilver Flask, or some sort of sprint.
Yep.
You know, whatever. I don't think checkpoints as the player, though. I hate them. I think they're a band fix. I think, and I don't think just making every single part of the game faster as a player either. It's just like we had a button we can press, you know? Flying mounts, guys? Yeah.
Flying mounts, brother. What the fuck?
Flying mounts. That'd be good, dude. Holy fuck. What's the timer for? The timer was full on my character to log out to reset the map.
Hey, this was a good video. I found myself agreeing more with Quin than with the other guy. But it was a good video. And I am glad that Quin is one of the guys saying, like, wanting to maintain some kind, like, improving the game, but not taking all the way to the other side. It is good because he's, like, a big influence in the community. So that is fucking cool, dude. So it was a fucking good video, dude. Let me know everything that you think in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are fucking awesome. God bless ya. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.